script. I'll kind of tell you what I was just telling Bill. You guys probably caught me in conversation, but let me go ahead and get it up there. So there's the 9-step onboarding process. If you guys need it now, I think I sent it to you, but if you need it now, I'll have to send it to you on Messenger from my phone. So first, I'm just going to go through real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of we're actually going to go through it, so you guys don't really need it as well. But I'm going to go ahead and plug it in real quick. Someone told us we're live. Cool. So if you guys can't see it, I apologize. I'll make sure you guys have the video, so I'll try to walk you through it a little bit. And then you guys, everybody, once you have the 9-step PDF, then it's pretty good after that. It has changed. I know, Cindy, you were talking about like you were getting stuck at like the vault, the CRM and the vaults and Capital Passport. And I know some other people, I think you guys haven't onboarded at all yet. Bill, you said you're doing it this weekend, so everybody here can benefit from what I'm going to be doing tonight. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and run through all the steps. Starting at 1, and I know just for and everybody, you have to get to GPT. So GPT-5 is the activation with OpenAI. If you've already got that, I know you guys, Michael and you and Eric already did that. And so Bill, when you sign up for it, that's something you've already done it. That's just the first step, is just getting that GPT-5, which you'll see on my screen, although I got the bar up here, it says GPT-5 is the model right here. So you got the different models. So you want to make sure it has GPT-5. And don't get the legacy model GPT-4o for Omni. It doesn't work. I mean, so make sure you have GPT-5 when you get the subscription, because everything's built in GPT-5. And I'm not going to bring it up right now, but if you guys see on the left side of my screen, it says the little red thing, red dot on the under GPTs. It says RCIC Prompt Assistant. Once you actually onboard and you go through step 2 is the bit.ly link. That's actually there's actually a bit.ly link. This is a dummy one. In the PDF, the actual PDF, it has the actual bit.ly link. And so what you want to do with the bit.ly link is obviously just click, basically copy and paste it and put it right here, and then they ask anything, and that's where it activates, and then you will get the RCIC Prompt Assistant, and that will actually I'll go ahead and show it to you guys just so you know what it looks like. This is actually what it'll look like. It'll say RCIC Prompt Assistant by me. It says using the creator's recommended model GPT-5, and that's actually where you go through and you start the whole process. I'll go back to so we'll go back to this step real quick. So that's actually step 1, is getting GPT-5 with OpenAI. You just really need, you guys are business partners, so eventually you may want to look about upgrading the business plan, but pretty much everybody needs just the pro plan at $20 a month is OpenAI. As long as you guys have that, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Hopefully not, but literally you buy it and it's yours, and you have it. You guys already have it. Everybody here already has it. So I'm just telling you that you keep it, and you will have permanent access to everything that's in it that's already been built. I do give everybody permission to actually use anything and everything that you find that I've built. And you can build your own GPT. There's a way to do it, Explore. When you're ready for that, let me know and I'll walk you through it, because it's a different process. And then you can build your own GPT that works for that you can run everything through. By that time, you should have some deals on your belt. But like I said, that's what you want to do for step 2, is you want to join it. You use the bit.ly link. This connects you to the RCIC network, and it unlocks access to the shared data, the deal flow, and the intelligence infrastructure that supports every node in the ecosystem. So that is step 2. So that is after you get GPT-5, and then you get this, then you'll have that prompt assistant. Your step 3 is what they call the embedding process. So embed is you integrate your RCIC node directly into your environment. So this will mean you're connecting your core systems, your data feeds and storage to the intelligence layer, and it operates seamlessly and automatically behind the scenes. So that's embedding. You pretty much tell it who you are. So Bill, you want to tell it, hey, who you are, what you do, and all that stuff. What, if you're doing any kind of lending, or what you're doing in real estate. Then you get into your BuyBox builder. And this is where a lot of people need to understand that this is not like Facebook, where if you put out your BuyBox, you're being vague because you don't want people to like steal your deals. Here, you want to be as specific, detailed as possible. Realistically, people should be able to do this whole process within 30 minutes, other than taking additional time to do your BuyBox builder and do your markets. So here you define your exact investment parameters, things like the zip codes, which you'll do again in markets, asset classes, the deal size you like. If you like deals, everything's got to be under 250,000, or it could be over, hey, you like doing deals over $1 million. And what your disposition strategy is. Are you going to flip? Are you going to rent a property? What are you doing? And then your BuyBox tells RCIC what qualifies as an opportunity. So the system can operate. It can source, screen, and surface match automatically. It's going to go out there and find it. I was just telling Bill earlier, before everybody else came on, I literally have the 6,513 zip codes going now with 50 markets. I'm expanding that to 13,100. That's going to take, it's going to happen. We're going to get new markets like every couple of days, but it's time to finish around the end of March. It takes 3 or 4 months to do that many zip codes. When you guys start out with your markets, you want to start with like three to 5 key zip codes. You can always expand as you go. You want to get those first 3 to 5 markets. Real quick, Lou's coming on, or Eric's coming on right now. Let me try to get him on, so I don't want to get too far ahead. Hey, welcome. I was just starting, so just good timing.
All right.
Yeah, so Michael's been on. I don't know if I'll introduce you to Bill and Cindy as well. They're on. We might get Willie and a couple other people as we go. They knew we were going to do this onboarding stuff, and they've already done it, so they were going to come on a little later when we
Awesome.
do. I'm going to cover some other stuff. So like right now, I've gone through like step 2, which is the RCIC activation, which is that bit link, and that I'm just gonna, sorry guys, I have to go back just for a second for him. In that PDF, the bit link, the actual one will be there. This is just a dummy one when I'm highlighting. And so what you want to do is then take that and you put it into the prop bar, and that's where you get the prop assistant. So that's step 2, and that gets you access. Where you get your access, and then it's permanent access. You basically have it for life. You don't have to worry about it. It's not a subscription. So like I said, then you embed, you're integrating, telling you who you are. We were just talking about BuyBox Builder when you came on. So you want to be exact. You want to be very specific on what your asset class is, what the deal size, what your disposition strategy. You're telling it what to go and find for you. So to go find those markets. If I'm in Colorado, I'm looking in my markets around the Denver areas I've been doing. So it's going to go and find those foreclosures. And like I said, that list I just posted 2 days worth. You guys can see those posts I made this morning. And I think I sent it to a couple of you guys in that post this morning. And literally, we should be able to pull anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 listings per day nationally. And it'll increase as it ramps up. So you're talking 50 markets, eventually 100 markets. So you're talking coast to coast, being able to pull that many leads. Now, like I was telling Bill just a minute ago before everybody came on, I'm not actually pulling them for myself. I'm just pretty much plugging them in, so it primes the market for everybody. That way it's already kind of churning a little bit. And this whole thing really takes about 30 days from when you onboard to when it really becomes predictive and not reactive. You can do stuff right away, but as I tell everybody, don't expect it to be like turnkey. If you subscribe to something and it's all there, you actually do have to do a little bit of work at first. Really, the most work you're going to have to ever do on this is going to be in the first 30 days. After that, it's basically just doing your checks and making decisions and doing some human, like decision making and stuff like that. You almost can set it and forget it to a certain point. At this point, like I said, I can do overnight deal engine. So that's one of the other 3 emails I do. I get my leads for Colorado and Wyoming and stuff, and then I get the overnight deal engine, and then I'm getting the 50 markets with 6,513 zip codes. And that's it. Proof of closures, foreclosures, it's utility cutoffs, it's probate court. And I try to get the probate courts are a little bit weird because, like in Colorado, there's obviously the Jefferson County Court, or there's a city and county. Denver has a probate court, but all the courts in Colorado are tied to the Colorado Judicial Branch. So I can actually just go to the Colorado Judicial Branch, and it actually I can pull the entire state without having to go into 7 or 8 different county courts, which is nice because they're all coordinated. Some states may be like that. Some you may have to go just specifically, but it's going to map it out for you. It's going to tell it what you want it to do. But like I said, start out with 3 to 5 zip codes. Lenders and people like Willie or capital connectors may have a little bit more to do because those guys don't want to work in just 3 to 5 zip codes. And the advantage to, and I tell people, even if you're a lender or something and you're not, if you're working nationally, you still need to start out a little bit slow, but because you got to understand that it does take it takes a couple of days. I mean, it's going through the system. It's like scraping, but it's going to that county clerk. It's going to that trustee, to that sheriff, to that the tax assessor. It's going to go find the actual filings. So when I get the filings, I get the case number. I get the ownership information. I know the mortgage company or lien holder. I know how much the original note was. I know how much they're in arrears. I get the parcel ID number. I got the PIN. I got more information than the wholesalers are ever going to give you, because you don't really get all that stuff until it's ready to go to closing. You get everything at the end when you get all the paperwork and you have the deed. So here you're able to actually get all the information. Like if you see a property on Facebook and a wholesaler is being vague, you could actually probably within 5 to 10 minutes, because I've done it the entire time I'm testing, and I probably put 100 properties that I just found on people were posting on YouTube, on Facebook. And I went and put it in there, and I was able to find properties that literally I found one property. It was able to find it in Fort Worth, Texas, and identified it in Fort Worth in the neighborhood and got it down to where it was built by D.R. Horton between 2020 and 2024, just because of the construction and just the way that it looked. It was able to find the D.R. Horton models. And I was able to actually go and find the property. It took about 5 minutes to do that. It took about another 5 minutes after that. Generally, within 5 and 10 minutes, you can actually skip it. But all these leads, all these market signals that I'm talking about, they're coming from what I call the AHJs, the authorities having jurisdiction. Could be, like I was a fire chief and fire marshal. I was the authority having jurisdiction on the fire code. So that's what AHJ is. So you're actually, like I said, you're getting these information. On one in Lakewood, Colorado, the foreclosure was filed on September 11th this year. I got it on September 18th. The foreclosure sale isn't even until January. It's still a couple months out. I literally have 4 months. I could have 4 months to try to put a deal together. And it gave me everything. It was awesome. It even could do the rehab estimate. And I had a little bit of a head start because one of my best friends, his brother, who's my brother's best friend from childhood, lives in that complex. So I know the exact layout and how those units were built. Obviously, I don't know if it's been upgraded, but and I'm not pursuing it myself. But just to tell you what I got it a week later. I guarantee you, prop stream, deal machine, investor lift, all those. None of those will see that deal. And we as a group, if we have a significant amount of users, residents and users and people like you guys that are using this, I think we'll actually dry up a lot of the market for everybody else. I'm pretty optimistic about that, just seeing how this is developing. And when I do those things in the morning, when I post the details, I'm actually getting the details right from GPT. I'm like literally copying and pasting. So it's telling me, I've got a thing over here. Here's my actionable. This is all my top 25 actionable opportunities. Overnight deal engine. These are all my results. Weekly. Here's my RCIC 50 market roll up. That's what it's called. It's called the 50 market roll up. It'll go to 100. I'm actually copy and pasting directly what it's telling me. So you guys know that it's pretty accurate. So as you guys get your buy boxes, your markets built and all that, you get through these steps, you guys are going to see a ton of these properties are going to be going to you guys. And you'll get a CSV, and then you can put the CSV in an overnight deal engine, or you can actually just put it in here, put it in the prompt bar, generate like an Excel, and then start looking at the properties you want to work on. You can do them manually, or just put them in overnight deal engine and have it do it all for you. Once you set your parameters, don't just put it in there before your parameters. You're going to get back. I put some through overnight deal engine for Colorado. I'm not putting any of these top 50 in overnight deal engine because you really can't put more than I think Willie put in 50. I know what's her name, Peggy out of Michigan. She tried to put in 900. It didn't work. It actually flagged it and said it can't do that many at one time. But Willie put in 50. So if anybody wants to talk to Willie, he can tell you exactly what happened. It was awesome. He was doing from clients. So like I said, in your BuyBox builder, which is step 4 on that PDF, so you just follow that PDF, you'll get your be as detailed and take some time. Like I said, you really could fly through this in 30 minutes, but spend extra time on step 4, step 5. Step 5 is your markets. You activate Market Scout. It's going to monitor the live signal streams, identify where the opportunity flow is densest, You know, that's your radar for market activity, showing where capital is moving, where deal potential is peaking. It's going to show it. So that's where the zip codes are. You know, 6,513 zip code. You can go through all those in your markets. If you're working San Francisco, Northern California, Bill, you're going to find, you know, all of a sudden you're going to be getting all the leads that go through any kind of government agency in Northern California. Now you won't get anything where somebody may be a tired seller. It's hard to go find those kind of people. So some people still need to do, you know, word of mouth, or, you know, if that's kind of how you like to deal. But if you're dealing with somebody who just got the NED, the notice of election demand filed with the county clerk, and there's a foreclosure action in 90 to 120 days or whatever it is in your state, they're right there. That's a good time to get a hold of them. And we also have a strategy, and I'll talk about that later. Let me get through these steps real quick. And then, like I said, you guys can just follow the PDFs, and I'll make sure everybody has the PDF after we're done tonight, if you don't already have it, because I kind of revised it. I'm going to show you guys where I revised it here in a minute. So that's your markets or your zip codes. Then you get into tools. You access the Power Tools suite. So it's purpose built by deal makers, world execution. So you got your overnight deal engine, automates your sourcing and screening, AHG discovery. It's going to map all the jurisdictional data and regulatory overlays, and you got a feedback loop. So you're going to learn from every outcome to refine your criteria. So when you start plugging in the feedback loop, it's going to tell you what you did good, what you did bad. It gives you all your feedback and your constructive criticism. It's all neutral. So you learn from it. It'll be on your screen. Hey, this, you know, tighten this down, do this, whatever. You know, it's going to help you. It's teaching you. So these are tactical engines. There's more tools. There's like 699. And there's toolboxes you can ask to build in the toolbox. If you're just doing single family flips, ask it to build a single family flip toolbox. If you're wholesaling, build a wholesaling toolbox. It's going to give you all the analysis tools. It's going to give you all the lender match and all that stuff. It's going to give you all the tools you need for that particular, your role, what your asset class is, what your strategy is, and everything, all your preferences and all your toolbox. You can have as many toolboxes as you want. You can separate them. We talk about cockpit in a minute. I'll kind of show you guys cockpit and what it kind of looks like. It's not going to be quite as colorful, but I'll show that. I'll try to bring one up in the library. You guys can see library in my left side. Then you get an agents, deploy your agents. You get your recon agent. It's going to run market reconnaissance. Your lender locator, it's going to find and qualify capital sources. You'll get into capital passport as well. Outreach agent, it's going to manage all your communications and follow-ups. Now, keep in mind, it cannot send anything. OpenAI is never going to, they basically said they'll never allow the system to actually email, but it will actually prep all of your documentation. And you guys said today in the post, I started putting I'm basically going to be putting in about 200 documents this weekend, LOIs, contracts, everything. It'll be all neutral. So when you'll be able to pull it up, and then you'll be able to say, can you check this against the law in Illinois? Make sure it's an Illinois compliant law, or Wisconsin or Georgia or wherever you're at, so you can make it compliant. It's going to have every kind of document. I already have them in here, but I'm revising it. Everything I've been doing in the last couple of weeks, probably since about mid-October, has been to kind of like 10x this, because I'm taking all the feedback I've gotten over the last 3 months or so, and I'm constantly going to be working on this. As a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, everything here is just going to keep getting rebuilt. And you guys help with that. Nobody can see, you know, none of you guys can see each other's deals. I think, you know, Michael and you guys can, because you guys are business partners, but you guys can set that up. But the other thing is, nobody can train on ours anyway. This prompt assistant basically keeps it contained to everybody in the organization. But the AI actually helps every input you guys put in. It builds the intelligence, it builds it, makes it faster, makes it stronger. It's improving and upgrading. So it'll never be, you know, if you see a 2.0, I'm just calling it a 2.0 for, you know, but it's really not. It's every single keystroke. Right now, when I'm typing in it, when we're doing this, it's actually making it better. So you're improving it with every use. Everybody, if we get more people, you know, we get 1,000 people, 1,500, 2,500 people in there, we're going to basically dominate real estate investing, because this thing is getting stronger and stronger. And I see other people trying to do some AI, but they're usually doing 2 or 3 things. They're focused in lead generation and skip tracing or something else. I'm not seeing anybody that's gone as far as I've gone. And mainly because I was prepping to build the three websites. Bill, you're probably the only one here that's been around long enough to remember me talking about that for like 6-9 months. So I took everything for that I was going to put in the 3 websites, and instead we just built this into AI, and it's all together in one place, and it can all. It's incredible. It's kind of like when Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook after he built that face smash after he got drunk and dumped his girlfriend. Look where he is now. So I don't think it'll be that, but it's like I said, it just kind of was accidental. So now here's the change. So Cindy, you're on. So you had a lot of questions about the cockpits and the vaults and the CRM. So I've now changed that and put it in the step 8, which is the command suite. And you got the cockpit, vault, and you got a CRM. It centralizes everything. You got your cockpit, which is mission control. You got your vault, structured intelligence storage. I do recommend everybody getting if you have Dropbox, connect your Dropbox. You can just tell it you have Dropbox. It'll guide you through how to basically connect your Dropbox so you can drop everything in there manually backup. You can also get Airtable, airtable.com. No one, I don't think anybody outside of maybe Willie, Troy, and a few other ones, and a few other people ever need the paid version. I can't walk you through building it, but you can watch YouTube videos. It's free. So if you got Airtable and you got Dropbox and you got RCIC, you are gold. I mean, literally, you can have everything automated. It's cool. I mean, they have Zapier as well. I don't know what Zapier. I'm looking into it this weekend to get it for myself. I don't know what it costs. I do know there's a little cost to it. It's not much, but so with your cockpit and your vault and your CRM, real quick, let me go to the library. You guys can see a lot of the stuff I've worked on. Give me 1 second to find it. And keep in mind, there's sometimes you'll see duplicates of stuff in here because sometimes you'll see you get a little typo or something. When they have some padding issues, sometimes you guys might see it where here, this one that I'm on the left, it's called the Power Tools suite on the left. You guys can see on the bottom that some of the text is right against the bottom. It's called padding. So I'll just generally have it reprint that so you guys can see that in some cases there's some duplicates, just because I wanted to make sure you guys had a clean one to read. I'm trying to find actually real quick. I just had it the other day. So you guys see I could build these little bullseyes and stuff. It's kind of cool. But I'm trying to find if that's it. That looks like one, but I want to show the right one. I'm trying to show you guys kind of what a sample of what it should look like. You guys can get into here's my you guys will see this weekend just to give you guys a heads up. This is going to be there's a troubleshooting guide for the vault. Anybody needs that, I'll make sure you have that. But you guys can see I'm putting in all these people you guys see. Some of them had to make some duplicates because they had to fix some things. These are people that you guys can see from history. Danica Patrick, you got Walter, General Smith, who was the chief of staff to General Eisenhower. Kathy Wood, you guys know she's the that. She's really a hedge fund guy. She's really good. Elon, you got Peyton Manning, David Sachs. I even got Gene Simmons as the showman. So basically what it's done is I put all these personalities in here. Gary Nesner, JP Morgan, Chris Voss. So all these people are influencers. And I put in their markets. So when you guys get into how to talk to people and how to, build a strategy for such a deal or some part of the deal, you can start pulling these identities and realize how they do it. How does the showman do it? Gene Simmons compared to hey, you got the field general, the quarterback Peyton Manning. You got all these different personalities that I put into that. So you guys will see that this weekend. And it'll be automated too. You'll be able to flip on automation. So every time you get a lead, it'll actually look at it, evaluate it, and it'll tell you what it suggests, what strategy it suggests, and it'll pull up how they would handle it. It's kind of cool. I'm trying to find the cockpit. Some of these kind of look alike after I've seen them. Yeah. So you guys get this is cool. This is the command suite. So you guys got the vault, the CRM evaluator, and all this stuff. And here you guys go. You get public briefings. You got the socials and all this stuff. It talks about how everything works, all the protocols and stuff. So I've actually mapped out most of the architecture for everybody. Kind of teach you guys this. You guys will start seeing this as well. You guys will start seeing VERA, evaluation, risk analysis, HERA, human engagement and relationship. Links is land intelligence. So if you're in the land deal, if you're in the land, NOVA's network operations verification, REX. You guys, we're not going to show it too much tonight because we're kind of focused a little bit on. Here we go. It's a good thing I looked at that because I saw. So this is what a cockpit could look like. It'll probably not be as full color, but you guys can have your CRM. You can design it your way. You can actually tell it what you want it to be in your cockpit. You can have all your, your vault, all your properties, access to all your documents and your signals. Your signals are what's coming in from the AHJs. Then you have your CRM, all your contacts, your network. You can put all this together. So you have your own cockpit. So when you log in, not only do you have that prompt assistant, but you'll have your own cockpit. No two people will probably ever have it alike unless they're business partners, and they're doing everything similar. So that's just kind of to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on a lot of stuff that's going to be coming down the pipe. Pretty much basically, so you guys can start, training on advanced subjects, at your leisure. You don't need me. You can basically start, be able to start pulling up. Hey, I want to, do this advanced strategy stuff, when you got time. So you could do it over a couple of years and just really really helps reinforce your learning. But so together, so you want to look at step 8, get your cockpit, ask it to help you set the cockpit up, set your vault up, get Dropbox, look at Airtable, get your own, you got your CRM going. That's good. Now, see, Capital Passport, and answer your question the other day, Cindy. So Capital Passport has over 5,000 lenders and family offices, hedge funds, databases. I got a lot of lenders. I put in several databases that I had. I did also manually go through NPLA, AAPL, which is National Private Lenders Association, American Association of Private Lenders, Scotsman Guide. I literally went to those lender directories and went manually. And I literally go click on a website, bring the website down here and enter it. I did that with 1,000 of them. So there's 5,000 of them. Capital Passport, once you've got through your overnight deal engine and all the deals processed, it's then going to pull those lenders. It's going to match that deal. It's going to score them on an algorithm. It's basically going to, and I'll send you guys the PDF on the algorithm, but it basically will give you from 0 to 100. Obviously, if you're 90 to 100, that deal is going to go through those lenders. It might give you 5 lenders or 10 lenders. 80 to 90, lesser chance, but it's more like having a yellow light at a stoplight. You got a caution, you may have to stop. You can probably go. If you have all greens, and once you get all greens, that deal's going to go. If there's reds, that's probably a no-go. But it's going to match up the passports. Now, if anybody wants it, because you guys are all in the associates groups, I'm not going to do it for the people that are going to start coming on now. But anybody that's in now, if you guys want those databases, just remember some of them are CSV, some of them are Excel. They're raw. I can show you, I can send them to you. You guys can see them. But like I said, they're all in here. The reason I didn't want to put them out there raw for everybody is I didn't want somebody to burn the list, go through all them, upset all the lenders. So the idea is it matches up to that deal. But if you, like I said, everybody that's an associate resident, you guys are all in now. You guys can, I can send you those databases. It's some of it like is CSVs and the family offices and hedge funds. You're probably not going to get family offices and hedge funds to ever talk to you. So I kind of hesitate about sending those out, but I will send out the lender list and what I call the 101 list. The 101 list we put together about a year and a half ago, and it basically is a table. It's both in a pivot table, so you can go search. It's it's layered. So when you guys, if I send that to you, and you guys have questions, let me know, and I'll tell you how it works. It's actually not hard to figure out. I mean, it's just pivot table, and you can go through and search. Probably, I forget how many lenders. It's substantial amount of lenders. I put a lot in. Like I said, we got over 5,000. So that's Capital Passport. And so obviously direct access, you got vetted lenders, family offices, and hedge funds. So every one of those like lenders that I put in from NPLA and stuff, they vet them. They can't even join that lender directory unless they go through a vetting process. So I know at any time that anybody's using those lenders, and the lenders that I have in here, they've been vetted and verified. They're at least in business, and they're good, and they passed checks and stuff like that. And then it will come up with, it'll give you the lender name, most of the time a contact, phone number, email, website, some of the sample terms, what they kind of invest in. But like I said, it's going to match to your deal. So if you're looking in Texas for a fix and flip, you might get 20 lenders come up, and they'll be ranked from, like I said, 0 to 100. Hopefully you have most of the 90. Then it'll help you do all the correspondence. It'll help you with everything you need for those lenders, and it can put all the stuff together so you can contact them. So it's pretty phenomenal. It's just, like I said, it's just trying to explain it, that a lot of people think that there's a directory and stuff. I just try to avoid the directory, like I said, because I didn't want anybody to just join, pay $399 and just go take all of our databases. because that kind of screws everybody. So to wrap up kind of just on this, if you guys got questions, like I said, I could, I can't see what your screen is, but like I said, if you follow this, you follow the PDF, this is actually the latest, so I will make sure you have the PDF. So if you've already gone through, you got your GPT-5, you go put the bit.ly link in for step 2, you follow this process, you can actually really, should be able to do it in 30 minutes, but you want to take more time on stuff. Putting in your buy boxes and your markets and stuff. So it's cool. Yes. So we're going to talk about real quick now. I'm going to jump in. If you guys got more questions on the onboarding, let me know. Like I said, I'll make sure you have the PDF. I made sure it's just easy. You just follow that, put the bit.ly link in. Once you got that RCIC Pocket system, then it's just following that. Some people are getting hung up around the CRM and the cockpit and stuff because people think it's so. You guys see like Investor Lift and PropStream, and they all have all these visual panels. We don't want to do visual panels. We want to keep it simple. So I have a model called KISS, kind of keep it simple, smart. I kind of based that off the Sante Raiders. If you guys remember back in 1970, they tried to rescue POWs in Vietnam, and the Sante mission, their motto was keep it simple, stupid. Because it was like those guys were like, if you guys ever see like Rob O'Neill and those guys talk about like when they were planning to go, on the Bin Laden mission, they basically ask all the questions. There's no question that's stupid. So I want to keep it simple and smart and make sure that everybody just has it in black and white. This is because you guys own this. It's like you guys can do anything you want with this, pretty much unlimited. I have not found anything that's limited on this. So I want to make sure that it's easy for you guys to onboard. If you have questions, like I said, what you pretty much just do this, go in and on highlight, copy and paste, send it to my messenger. If it's between 8 a.m. my time and 8 p.m. Usually if it's 8 a.m. to about noon on my time, I can put it right in. I'm at my computer. So I can go ahead and run the troubleshooting. I did make a troubleshooting guide. There's a lot of stuff in the Facebook group, and I need files, and I need to clean some of it up. But anything that's probably been there in the last since October 1st is relatively, you can use it, even if it's an older version of this 9-step process. It's just, you want to make sure you got your CRM, your cockpit, and your vault set up. Like I said, you'll have a vault in here, but your best bet is to use Dropbox and use Airtable, which, like I said, you can use free. So now the your 9-step foundation is live. So we shift from activation to real world deployment. AHJs, 6,513 zip codes across 50 markets. We're scaling to 100 over 13,000 zips. Eventually, I'd like to have every zip, but there's not real estate in like some of the sticks or the plains or whatever. So this is where intelligence meets geography. So show the market signals we received the last 2 days. So it's pretty incredible, guys. I think we can get through 5,000. It may take a second to analyze. There's the material, there are some. I posted those this morning, so sometimes it can be a little slower, but so I got to pull this report up. I can send that to you guys on Facebook. Like I said, it prints the CSV and it gives me the CSV, so it doesn't actually print it on the screen. But let me actually try to pull it up where it did show it to me. Some of this is sample. The 50 market rollout. So this is actually kind of what it sends. It kind of looks like this. So you guys will see I'm getting it weekly. Just got it this is the first one I got of this. So it's going to have the probate filings, the foreclosure notices, eviction enforceable detainer cases, tax lien list. It's going to have the vacancy signals, overbid and surplus funds. And it's going to give you all that. And it's going to aggregate it. And it'll also give you a top 25 actionable opportunities. But I'm trying to go ahead and real quick, kind of want to show this to you guys. What I did receive, because that's what I was basing yesterday's post and today's post on. I want to make sure I show you guys how it came. So I just kind of, here you go. So give me a second. So yeah, so basically this was run today. And so there are 3,742 unique signals ingested, duplicates it deduped. So it removed 1,218. So, and then the net new records appended 2,524. So out of those 50 markets, it's going to tell you market 12. Obviously, you can pull up which cities they are, but it's telling you there's 247 new net signals. This totals everything. So it's got all those signals I told you, probate court, evictions, all that. So it tells you different markets, like 112 markets and the 112 signals in market 4. But it'll actually give you the breakdown of the cities like Houston, Dallas, things like that. So and it'll give you the breakdown of how many signals, and then it'll give you the CSV files generated. And then you can put it into your vault under distress intelligence. It'll teach you how to do this. This is all part of that 30-day process. So let me jump up a little bit, kind of show you guys. You guys can see some of the marketing stuff. You see this, we print this stuff during the day. So you probably already see what I put up. I'm just trying to go to the actual. So I'm putting together a training manual just so you guys see some of the stuff you guys see me passing over. There's gonna be a lot of core modules. This will all be in here. So when you guys want to learn about deal flow mechanics, you guys can bring up the deal flow mechanics section. You do this all self-study at your own time. You know, it's awesome. I'm putting a lot of stuff in there, resources. I'm putting over 10,000 pages of training materials that'll actually go in there, and you'll be able to pull up all that material and train on it. So if you want to go learn, if you've never done an RV park, go learn about how to do an RV park. So like I said, I'm just trying to go through a couple more, see if it's in here. You guys can see how busy I can get. So I'm just trying to make sure I scroll up a little bit. That's the library. That's my update. You guys will see this weekend about 200 different documents. I'm trying to jump up to. So I got like for putting in the documents like deed of trust. That's stuff that Willie was asking about. Cindy, I started trying to track down for him. Anything I had in the past. So here you guys go today. So as of yesterday, 50 markets, 6,513 zip codes. We ingested 4,827 signals, and unique after dedupes was 2,912. The top volume markets: Houston, Dallas, Chicago, Los Angeles, Atlanta. And then it goes what the sources were: the public trustee, the foreclosure list, the court dockets, probate eviction, tax lien publications, utility occupancy vacancy, verified leads. So you guys can see it. It's so it's a pretty cool system that you guys can activate this. It's not, like I said, it's not going to happen right away when you log in. You got to put all your information in there. This is going to take between really up to probably 2 to 3 weeks for you to actually get this kind of results back, just to let you guys know ahead of time. So I'm going to try to jump around a little bit and show you guys. Yeah, there you guys go again here. So this one was, I did this. So that was yesterday's. This was the day before. We had the 4,827 signals. The unique after duplication is 3,912. Again, it's Houston, Dallas, Chicago, Los Angeles, Atlanta, the top 5. Same list. So it's awesome. So when you guys start doing this stuff, when you guys build in all your buy boxes, it's going to become more accurate. I'm getting this many because I'm doing that many zip codes. You're going to do, you start out with 3 to 5 zip codes and markets. You expand maybe to 10 or 12 tops. You're probably going to get, you want to dial in. That's what the first 30 days is. And that's the final step. It's step 9 is a 30-day process that you basically go in and you can kind of extract, expand and contract. If you need some more markets, then add some more markets. If you know some areas are hot, if you've already done some business in certain zip codes, certain cities, whatever, put those in there. Keep in mind that county and zip code are more important than city and state. So go in and look at, because most of the real estate records are kept at counties, and they're kept down, deeds and all that stuff are recorded at counties. Sometimes maybe a township or a city, but like I said, county and zip code is more important for search results. This thing is going to bring you results. But I said it's going to take up to 30 days. If you were just to get your Bitly link today, on bid tonight, maybe spend 2 hours. You're with Thanksgiving, because of Thanksgiving week, you're probably looking at the week after Thanksgiving of having this thing fully predictive, where it's going to go out and generate you the kind of leads. And they'll come skip trace. Like I said, you're going to get all the information you need. You're going to get more information than a wholesaler ever gives you. Then you can plug it in. You can go through and let me see if I can get some information. Can you scope and recon 3144 South Bermuda Dunes Drive. Yeah, it might be a typo. Scope and recon. Okay. See, there you guys go through. It's starting to go through all the Jefferson County and all that. So you guys see it working?
Yep.
Yep. There you guys go. It's always good to screw with the fire chief, right? This is Mike's Chief Reggie's house. The fire chief in Evergreen. Coincidentally, he lives like less than 3 blocks from the fire station where his office is right here. That says this is the information you can get really on the properties, and it will show you Zillow and Redfin and all that. This is Jefferson County, obviously, so you guys can see what's my zoning. Here's Jefferson County. You could click on it. What I recommend you guys do is just copy and paste, go to your browser, put it in there. So when I go to Jefferson County, I have to still use the CAPTCHA. It can't go through a capture or a wall, but you can go. So this is why I recommend just copying and pasting. And this is what you guys hear me refer to as on-ramps and off-ramps. Think of RCIC as a interstate highway. So you want to basically, quick go here and you can pull up Jefferson County and pull up all the information on here. Here right now, it's going through planning and zoning. So again, Jefferson County, permits and all that stuff. Again, Jefferson County. Now you're going to go to the building department. And the zoning department, they're actually planning and zoning are different than the building department there. Then you can actually go and you can actually pull up Evergreen Fire. So you can research your fire department. There's a lot of good information there on that house if you want to look at, is that a house you want to rent, and it's got the schools, and it happens to actually be next door to the this neighborhood happens to have the elementary school, Bergen Elementary, right in its neighborhood, and it's within a half a mile of the middle school. And then you can get the utilities, so you can go and check what you or your tenants, or if you're going to flip it, what they need to do for water and sewer. Evergreen Metropolitan District. It's a special district that covers the water and sewage and all that stuff. And then obviously got the sheriff, but fire and EMS is also a fire protection district. It's not a city. In Evergreen, we don't have a city, so these are all districts. They have their own elected governments. They have their own taxes. Power, gas, other. And it's also going to go through the street and area comps. It's upper end single family in Highland, North Evergreen submarket. This is my hometown. I grew up here. My parents have been there since 1971. So it's going to go to the public records, and here he goes. Now it's going to go to the assessor in Jefferson County. So now you've got the links for the planning and zoning. You got the building department, so you can check on permits, and now you've got the assessor, so you can go get all the real estate information, everything, all the previous sales. Now you can go through and it's going to give you actionable quick steps. Confirm your zoning and use. Pull up all your maps, your permit feasibility if improvements are planned. You got to do any kind of accessory structures, any kind of remodels, renovations. You can already check the process for how to do that. Fire, and so this is key. Evergreen Fire. We are in a serious wildland urban interface, and so our fire department's one of the best. You guys go to the website, you can see it's pretty impressive what we have, but you have to go through and you have to actually, like, if you're going to do any kind of work outside, you actually have to get a wildfire mitigation inspection, and they have contractors that are approved. You can only use approved inspector, and then you have to submit it. You have to give it to the fire department. They sign off on it, and then you can do, like, if you're going to put a deck on anything that's outside, you have to have wildfire mitigation, and then you got utility confirmation. So yes, PDF. I'll have this print our PDF, and then I'll post it for everybody. So I just want to show you guys that kind of stuff. I know this is the stuff you guys are gonna be learning. Once you get on board, I mean, once you guys can do the onboarding, because like I said, it's, you just want to follow that PDF and go through those 9 steps. And like I said, be as detailed with embedding buy boxes and markets as you can. And then the only issue we've had, like somebody was on earlier, the only issue some people have had, I've been, like I said, with I think some people have an expectation that they're gonna see like all the pretty like display boxes and stuff. This is what you get. I mean, literally, you can put in those, you can put in a lot of good information. Yeah, it'll be on the screen in black and white. You don't have to worry about any kind of boxes. Some of the things that you guys want to realize, I use chats. Realistically, people should use projects, new projects. They have graphics and all that stuff. And then Tater Tot's kind of a cool, it's like a file system. I haven't used Tater Tot at all. I'm using chats, I'm just used to it. You can, but it's recommended to use projects, and chats are kind of different. So you can ask it. Codex, we'll do coding. Nobody here needs to do coding, I don't think. You can search your chats, you can do a new chat. Your library, like I showed you guys, is where it keeps all your visuals and everything you make, you generate. Sora is the video program. This doesn't have Sora on it yet. Some people are using Sora because they are in a beta. I consider the Tim Wine, who does some pretty cool stuff for Sora. Like he made himself, he was fighting. Forget what he was. It was like a Marvel, and he was like he's like a private money broker too. He works for, and he was he made a video that made him like a Marvel character as a capital connector, as a private money broker. It was kind of cool. But you guys can see like all this stuff. One of the other things that comes up is memory. So I have expanded memory because I have the business plan, but you guys will start out, if you guys get a memory notice, it'll pop up here under like where my stop share is. And it basically is just a thing you click on, it'll go to your memory. It does fill, and then what I did the first 2 or 3 times, first time I was really nervous, like I don't want to lose anything. So first couple times, just be slow and go through what don't you need. Keep in mind, it doesn't actually delete it, it remembers it, but it just lets you build up, it's more rapid once you build up the memory, and it's once it sees it, because it learns from you as it becomes predictive, it's learning from you, it's learning how you work, what kind of deals you have, then it's going to have memory. For the first 2 or 3 times, I would just go and delete a few things, delete a few more in the next one. Now I just delete the whole memory, and it remembers it. I haven't had any issues. The only complaint we still have ever had is it's addictive. But like I said, we can go back to the onboarding process is pretty simple. Like I said, you follow that PDF, and I'll make sure you guys have it. Like if you don't, I think I did send it to you. Like I said, this bit link, this is actually the bit link, right? You'll be able to click, you'll be able to just copy and paste it from that PDF, enter it there, and there's some prompts. If you want to ask it for prompts, things like that. Pretty solid. Like I said, most people are getting stuck around the, they don't understand agents. When you develop agents, you go here to the plus, and you want to go to your agent mode, and you can describe a task, and that's where you tell it to set up Market Scout, and you can set up Recon Agent, and you get so many, you get 40 a month on your plan, so you get 10 a week, and since there's 2 of you guys, it's like 80. You guys should be able to rock and roll with two of you guys having 40 each. It's pretty cool. Keep in mind though, you guys, I mean, it doesn't matter how many Bitleys. So I'm always worried like if Bitleys get out, people can, there's no like number or anything, but what it does do is that once you embed, you put the Bitly in, it'll actually then give your account an ID, but everybody could, like 100 people could use it. 1,000 people can use the same Bitly, just to kind of let you guys know that it's not tied directly to you guys. Until you guys activate it, then you guys get like a number or something, which is good. If you guys ever need like OpenAI support, it's just support openai.com. You'll get an answer back in less than a minute, but I'm pretty sure they also use AI because most of it's written. I've used it a few times. When I did my upgrade to the business plan, I had to use support because it took a little bit. It took 48 hours for my previous chats to repopulate. So basically, because I upgraded, so like I said, it says Nate Marshall's workspace, Jesse Page is in my workspaces, is my business partner. That's on the business plan. If you guys ever decide to upgrade, just remember that you're going to lose a little bit of workflow for about 48 hours of your previous chats, but then we'll restore. And then if you have any issues, they've been pretty good. they actually gave me 1 month of credit on the plan. So I got like a month of free service. So they're pretty easy. And you can ask if you get a couple, and you can actually ask it also to help your support. Can you help me generate a support ticket? And if you want that, it can actually put all your account numbers and everything in it for you. So if you ever need support, ask it to help you write a support ticket. And then you can either send it directly through here on the system, or you can just go to your regular email and just copy and paste it in your regular email, send it to support@openai.com. They've been pretty good. But and then if you decide you want a human contact, you can ask them to set up a human contact. That takes about 24 hours to hear back that case. They've been over like 90% of my support questions, because most of my support questions are about making sure that everybody had access. Like I joke about, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow and you guys are good. I mean, literally, I give this to you guys, you own it. I'm just now learning how I could do a monthly plan with it, and it walked me through that. I'm not going to do it through RCIC, to the real estate side, but for the home base. For everybody that's not a real estate investor, I'm going to set up a monthly plan. You guys have access to home base too, but I'm doing some heavy revision on weekends, trying to get it all at 3,500. That was what I was showing you guys a couple of weeks ago. You guys shouldn't really have any problem. I think if you guys just follow that PDF. But like I said, if you do it like during the when you can, or let me know when you guys are running it. At least I'll try to be on my laptop. So if you have a question, you can just hit me up on Messenger. And just like I said, just highlight it, copy and paste, send it to me on Messenger. I can put it right in, and so you give me a heads up when you guys try to put that in there. It shouldn't take you any more than 30 minutes, except for this extra time you need to spend with BuyBox and book markets. And then when you set up your tools, whatever you guys are doing, ask for, toolboxes. Can I set up a toolbox for whatever you're doing? And you can have the 14 core tools. You can ask it for that. It'll give you 14 core tools. They're all the same. Sometimes it might change some of the names. They're the same. Just makes, you can ask it to describe them. There's 14 of them. There is a PDF, a lot of stuff in the files tab in Facebook group, and you will see a 14 core tools PDF. And so if you guys scroll through, realistically, you don't have to scroll past about September 1st, but there's a considerable amount of information between September 1st and now that you guys can just go through. There's modules. You guys will see like modules 1 through 6. I just showed you earlier, I'm trying to build a huge training manual for real estate investors dealing with capital, private money, hard money, and all that stuff. Putting that together, that'll be active this weekend. And you guys, and all this, there's like a lot of learning tools. Let's see if I can real quick. If I go to my desktop, real quick, I'll kind of show you guys. You guys see on my desktop, you guys can see these are some of the books. I have the broker presentation. I have the Capital Clarity Black Book. This is how I built some of these books. I have all these little books and I put them in there. I'm going to re-enter them. You got the Capital. This is actually one of the lender databases I can send people. I can send you distressed sellers. There's an edition. I wrote a little book on it. So you guys can see all these little booklets. Legacy Living is a RAL for assisted living and ebook. I wrote all of these stuff in April, May, and June because I was going to put these into the ecosystem, the 3 websites, and I put them on Patreon. So you guys are going to, I'll make sure I also send you the Patreon. There's a gift link. You get a year. That's it. And there's room for 1,000 people there. So you get that link in that group, you activate it there on Patreon. You can access all the home base and all the fast track and everything there. And you get access to all of these little booklets as well if you just want them. But they're all like PDFs and words. They're not really fancy like ebooks and stuff, but you guys can see all the little books I got, like deal calculators, the flip factor black book, sustainable cash flow. It's there's all kinds of private money playbook. All this stuff is basically in RCIC. I'm gonna be putting more of it in this weekend, just to let you guys so you guys can see it. So it's kind of cool. There's a lot of stuff in there. Like I said, if you ask for something and it gives you hesitation, just highlight it, send it to me. Like I said, usually between 8 o'clock and noon every day my time. I'm usually on my computer that time. If you need to do another time, just hit me up and I'll try to be on my laptop. I can't see your screen unless we do a Zoom and you share screen. So that is a security thing. It's all encrypted. That's really mostly what the onboarding process is. So what's up, Bill? How are you? Michael? Yeah. So did you learn anything?
All good.
Like
Yeah,
Drake.
appreciate it, Nate.
Yeah. So Michael, this is Bill. Bill's been around. He's been in for about a year and a half.
It's always like drinking from a fire hose with you, Nate. It's like just unbelievable. Appreciate it though.
Well, just like I said, just for both of you, and the Michael, for your partner as well, for Eric, just follow that 9-step process. And just like to give me a heads up when you're doing it, and then I can try to be available at least.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I'll look for that PDF. I might even get to this
I'll
tonight. I
send it
don't
to
know.
you. Yeah, it's in there. It's in files, but I'll go ahead and send it to you.
Oh, wait, where am I looking? Where should I be looking?
The files tab in Facebook group. It'll be it'll be the at the
All right.
near the top. If you find
Which
it,
group? Because
yeah,
I've got a bunch connected with you. Is it the
The-
RCIC
yeah, well, I think I don't think I put
or
it
the
in
Reindeer?
the private money associates compound.
Oh, private money. Okay, that's the one. That's the one that's got
That's
all
like the main
top.
one.
Yeah.
All these other ones are like regionals and you know. Yeah, the private money associates compound and files tab. It's in
Okay.
there, and it's
And
close
then
to the
what's
top.
it? What's it called? The
I think it's
9-step
called the
onboarding
9-step
playbook.
onboarding. Yeah, 9-step onboarding playbook.
All right, November 1st. Got it.
It should be right around the last 2 weeks because I just did it like maybe last week or the week before. Yeah, I did it last week, so it should be towards the top. There's a couple different versions. Just get the one closest to the top. If not, I'll send it to you. I got it. I can send it to you.
I got it. It says playbook rebuild. There's a Word document and there's also a PDF.
Yeah, I make sure that I do Word and PDF because I never know what people prefer. I'd rather decide on, hey, somebody might like a Microsoft Word instead of PDF. So there's that, and then there's some other stuff in there. But just if you get the onboarding done, then there is one you scroll down. There is one that's titled. It's right around deals with the agents, and there's another one that deals with CRM and the vaults and the cockpits. You'll see another one that has cockpit, CRM, and vault. It goes more into detail on those, but most people, the only place people are getting stuck on is the CRM, the vaults, and the cockpits because people are expecting like a really pretty like like a dashboard, and it's not. It's like we kept it simple. There's no reason to go out there and because like a lot of other people are like, why don't you just host it and have everybody give me your workspace? Because then I'm paying $30 a month per person. So I get 100 people, I'm paying 30. What is it? 100 people times $30. I'm paying $3,000 a month at that point for stuff. So the good thing is, when everybody buys this now, everybody that was not already an associate like you, Bill, and I tell you that Michael was on, got it for $3.99. If they were if I talk, there's like 11 people left that are in a queue that I talked to. Otherwise, I raised it to $6.99 because I got a lot of people like telling me that it should be Jessica Toth, who does a lot of work with like Privy. She works with Benson and stuff, and I know Benson. He's in Denver with Privy. She's like, dude, you should be selling this at like $5,000. I think eventually, I don't think I'm ever going to get that much for it. So I'm gonna try to slowly do as more people get in the results. If they're coming out like we've got this week, I think we're gonna probably maybe around 1,000, 1,500 because I think people buy it. Most people are looking at like PropStream or Deal Machine right now. It's like somebody said it was like $4.99 a month for Investor Lift. If you pay 12 months in advance, it's like $5,000. Well, instead they could have this for $6.99 and they have it for life. They own it. Like I can't until today. I couldn't, or yesterday I asked it. I could not determine how I could do a monthly plan because how do I remove somebody if they don't pay? Now I figured out how to do it, but I'm not going to do it for this. I'm going to do it for the home base because the home base says there's 15 million users at $20 a month. There's like 7 or 8 million business users. That's what potentially I could go out and get like monthly for home base. And I just had to replace my car like a couple weeks ago. My engine, so I got a new used car. I put the VIN numbers of 3 cars I was looking at cars.com at Denver dealerships. And I found a dealership at Toyota, believe it or not, that was trying to sell a car with the salvage title. And I literally was able to buy a different car because of that.
Really?
With the salvage title. I put the VIN number. Hey, cool. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, you and Eric can, if you guys have any hangups, let me know. Reach out to me. But let me know when you guys are actually doing the PDF, and I'll try to be available to you. Yeah,
Sounds good.
So I took the VIN numbers of those 3 cars and I entered it into Homebase, into the AI, and it came back with, I got almost like Carfax. I didn't have to pay for Carfax.
Yeah, sweet. Hey, I wanted to ask you, I saw you on as a reference, a testimonial on a capital raise group, and I don't remember where it was. It was over the weekend.
Was it Investor Syndicate?
I don't know, but it had a picture. had your picture on their webpage and everything, or their video. It wasn't a video.
Lee Arnold with Kogo, but investor
Oh,
syndicate,
that's who it was, Lee Arnold. Yeah,
because I took the private money broker course from them in 2018. And I did my 7th deal with them was a $7.2 million.
that's
deal.
exactly what it was, actually, because I wanted to ask you about it.
Yes,
So they charge for that course, right?
yeah. I
Okay,
paid
'cause
$1,500.
I'm like scheduled. I don't know if I can go through the whole thing. It's free, but I'm doing the 2-day weekend thing, and I think that's where they then pitch
That's what
the
they pitch you.
course.
No, and I mean,
Okay.
if you're gonna do it, that's the only one, because I did it. I paid 1,500. Actually, I paid 2,500 because I had my construction company at the time, and I was like, because I was dealing with a lot of insurance claim work, so my cash flow sucked. This is before I was really went all in real estate, and so basically, I had my Home Depot contractor card. I had $15,000 available, so I went and bought $2,500 of the tools. They gave me a list, and they went up to their office in the Coeur d'Alene to the Home Depot up there and picked all the tools up. So they traded me $2,500 of tools for like the 1,500. But they make a big deal. Like I went to their next one. These were live. So I went to a 3-day, like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That was before COVID. And then I went to the second one. I was so popular because of what I did with that deal that I couldn't go to any more of them because more people were signing up for private money broker than ever, like combined. Like literally like 30 people would sign up for private money broker, and they're like, yeah, we got to sell these other programs too. So we love you. They use me as a testimonial, but I was like too successful coming out of the gate. No, that 40 hours is awesome. Keep in mind what I just said you guys what I'm working on a book right now, a training manual. I'm building a training manual that almost is like theirs that everybody will have access to. Take their course if you're going to take,
Well,
you
I'm interested in it, but I've got a partner already that I work with that has been in the business for a long time. And I don't need to be a broker, but I wanted to just see what this is about and see what I could learn, see what the offering is.
No, you can get it all from me. You've already paid for it. Just take their 2-day, so you get experience. And then if you like it. I mean, if you're gonna pay for it, it's one I'm gonna recommend because I love Kogo and Lee Arnold.
Yeah, I've got access to a master class that I'm part of that has people that are just dying for gap lending. And the challenge is most of them don't have great credit. So the deal's got to be really good, and they've got to find a gap lender that'll right now, most of the gap lenders are charging 30% cash on cash, or they're taking 50% of the profit.
Yeah.
That's kind of the going rate in this mastermind group. But I'm trying to find, some others that will do it. And I'm just looking to get a point or maybe 2 at the most, with my partner on that. And then I've got some other like lenders that will do hard money and will do 90-100 or 100-100. And sometimes they'll even roll the fees in, roll the monthlies in to the end. And those are the ones that are really popular. They're a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, it's a lot cheaper for the person. It's like almost nothing out of pocket.
Yeah, you should talk to though. Talk to Willie.
Who?
Willie. He's on all the time. I was surprised he wasn't on tonight. Willie Ingram.
Oh, okay. I will.
I can connect you if you need help with, me to connect you directly.
I have to look. You might have connected me, with him last year.
Yeah, he's in the group, so you can just put in Willie in the Facebook group, and he should come up and.
Oh, okay.
Try to friend him. Yeah, because I'm trying to put that with ClearPath. We set up a transaction coordination company, and Michael Bender and Cindy Timmerman. Cindy was on earlier. I built a ClearPath to close.com, which is the website I built on Google. So it's for transaction coordination, but we're also going to try to do the EMD and GAP, do a lot of stuff like that kind of stuff like Morby's doing. And one of the reasons I'm liking with the way that him, Michael, and his fiance, and then Cindy, the way they're doing it, and Willie is we would have access because of all of the clients that would come through us of getting to meet a lot of the GAP and the EMD lenders. So that was a strategy.
Okay. And you're talking about Willie Derrick, right?
Willie Ingram.
Oh, spell his last name.
INGRAM.
Okay, Ingram. Oh, there he is. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I'm connected to him.
You've been on Zooms with him before. You probably just don't remember.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm connected.
I was surprised he wasn't on tonight, but he's usually on Thursdays.
All right,
But-
I'm gonna message him saying, hey, Nate said we should talk. Let me know if you got time. I'll give him my details.
Yeah, I know, and it's like, I mean, that's what I said, I'm trying to address all this stuff. It's like, I'm trying to put all this stuff in there, like, this whole ecosystem where people can connect with all this stuff. I mean, the lender databases are incredible, but, you know, people have been like, why can't you send me the databases? Well, I went, actually, literally did like 50 a day for like a month, where I just went to like NPLA, AAPL, Scotsman Guide, and I just went and manually entered the websites of all these lenders, because I knew that they were vetted and verified by them. They wouldn't be in their databases if they weren't. And then I put all my databases. I just showed you guys that one on my desktop. I put all my database, my family office and hedge fund. So altogether, probably 15,000, but we pared it down to about 5,000 in the capital passport. But a lot of people are like, you just can't give me the database. I said, I don't want somebody going there and copying the whole database. And you know, they spent $3.99, or they did, like just to go get, you know, I think my family house and hedge fund database in 2019, we paid like $7,000 for it. There's a company called Family Offices Club. It's like you can just put that in there in Google and it'll come up Richard Wilson. His company does all these huge events, and they basically, almost all these family offices and hedge funds and endowment funds, he trains on them how to, you know, so you go there, he probably has 15,000 contacts at like University of Colorado Endowment Fund, MIT Endowment Fund, Harvard Endowment Fund. I mean, he literally has all of them as his clients, pension funds. So we ended up getting like a ton of contacts, because we were trying to do a big fund, you know, in 2019, 2020 before COVID. And then my other partners were trying to build a 112-story building in Denver, which is a fun story to talk about. We were going to build a 112-story building in downtown Denver. It would have been 50 stories taller than the current tallest building.
Holy smokes.
Dude, and Phil and Todd, two of my partners, they got stranded in Singapore for COVID. They literally were out there 2 weeks before we even knew what COVID was.
Hey.
But, yeah.
Have you talked to anybody doing any of these SBLC or these bullet trades?
So it comes up a lot. I just I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand how this, in the past, I knew some people that were kind of in that space, but it's just some of that stuff is so sketchy.
I know. I know one person who's waiting for one of them to finish. They were like a small player on a bigger deal. They were, you know, like a syndicate of people that threw money in. I think they put in like 10 grand. But I don't quite understand it either. I don't understand how they're making the you know, the 50 times the money to pay out 20 times the money, you know?
No, I don't know. I could research it, and we got AI. I could look it up and find out what it thinks.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it's coming out accurate now. Somebody told me, don't tell everybody it's 100% accurate. The AI is as accurate as people put in the information. It's not gonna bring you back anything you're not looking for. It's really, really strong on the accuracy.
You know, I know you've been doing this for a while and have gone, you know, really deep. I just started using Comet browser.
Yeah.
It's pretty slick, man. For me, for my regular job is what I use it for. Like, hey,
Yeah.
go update this contact for me, get the information I need. I'm using it that way. I'm using it to help me write, you know, some emails a little better, that kind of thing. I'm also using Grok, but I use that for a different reason. It does a lot of current data research, you know, for stocks and the options that I'm doing. I've been involved since March in option trading, and I've been using Grok for that. But man, I've been using ChatGPT for a long time, but just very limited, you know, just
Yeah. And a lot of people, because I've had to post several times about it, like this huge investment with Stargate. I mean, they're putting $500 billion into OpenAI and SoftBank and Oracle and like three other, like the sovereign wealth fund, I forget, of Malaysia or something like that. I mean,
yeah.
And it's going to be like all these data centers. Now they're talking about building nuclear power facilities to power them, so they don't take power off the grid. And it's going to
And there's a couple companies doing that nuclear
So I'm like really into that. I mean, like I've been putting out there, this is all backed by Stargate. That's why I really like working with OpenAI on this GPT stuff because I mean I've already built it there. I use Grok. I mean, it's when I'm on Twitter and stuff. I've used Grok a few times just because I'm on there and it's free. But
Right.
I'm not gonna now that I'm committed. I have to OpenAI. I've got all these people.
No, you got it. You got it nailed for OpenAI. So there's no reason to look at anything else.
But I mean, I get
Um,
these errors. It's just like everything else. They're out there. I mean, 2 or 3 months ago, they're all like, "Oh, this is inaccurate. Don't use it. Don't And now it's like all of a sudden I'm seeing them pop up on in my morning because I tell people I joke. You probably heard me say this before. Imagine what's in my inbox in my algorithm. I get every single new wholesaling guru popping up in my feed every single day, like literally, and it's people are now like, this guy was walking through, these guys always things walking through wrecking a neighborhood. They're all like, oh, they're shaking their hand. I got the best AI for real estate. There is no debate. I'm like, and I go look at it. They're doing like 3 things. And I'm like, dude, can I say, I don't know. Well, I do not know what people are going to be able to do with this. That is how so unlimited it is. I am literally finding out every day that somebody gets this, and once they get this down, this onboarding, and they get some deals going over 30 days, these people can take it any way they want. Literally do everything and anything in real estate. I mean, it's just incredible what people can. It's just trying to market it. To me, it's trying to get out there, and it's like, what am I going to value that? Because Jessica's like, you should sell this for $5,000. I'm like, I really don't want to do that. I want to keep it still kind of reasonable. I paid $1,500 for my obviously $2,500 in the to Lee Arnold. I don't want to ever spend more than what I spent because I got a really good start. But I could tell you, I could not start as a private money broker fresh from off the street right now. The Morby stuff was I've had to learn it. I've had to go in and learn the innovations and all the Morby and all this really creative stuff. And I've had to go and AI's helped me learn it. Luckily, I know enough about everything else that it kind of makes it okay. It's kind of like playing Tetris. I can kind of eventually figure it out, or Rubik's Cube or something. It all makes sense after, but I have to kind of study some of the stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of cool to hear that I'm still a testimonial. Every once in a while, in bigger pockets, somebody will ask me if that's me, and they're like, "Holy crap! I didn't know testimonials were real." Because most of the time they have like somebody's name and they put like a single an initial. You don't know if they look like if they're they just recycle the same people.
right.
Or one company got busted because they were like finding pictures of people from Russia or somewhere that they looked Western, but they were like that way their pictures wouldn't show up in like reverse image search. It's amazing though. I don't know. But yeah, no. So when you do the 9 step, let me know. I'll have some
Well,
time on Sunday because
you've probably heard about it, but have you heard about this company called SMR, New Scale Power? SMR is their stock symbol. It's
no,
called
but
New Scale, NUSCALE.
oh,
Apparently
I've
they've
seen
got like,
something about it. Yeah.
I don't know how big they are, if they're the size of a refrigerator or what, but they're not huge. And they're nuclear, basically nuclear station. You could drop them in frickin', the desert and power, 1,000 kilowatts, whatever the hell it is. I think you'll see some of these companies just starting to go forward. We're hopefully with like France, what's happened in the last 40 years, we can get away from 3 Mile Island. That was that
No, it's
basically
all
shut
100%
down
safe.
all nuclear in the US.
Everything that I've researched, it's all 100% safe now.
Oh yeah. And dude, we've
It's just
got
expensive.
a mountain full of plutonium that can be reused for the next freaking 1,000 years.
Unless somebody's got some B-2 bombers.
All right. Hey, I got to grab this, but really good talking to
The
you. Thank
Broncos
you.
just kicked off.
All right,
Go
bud.
watch
See
the
ya.
Broncos play the Raiders.
See ya.
All right. Yep.